Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to episode 60 of Wise Wednesdays with RK. My name is Rukaya Khan. I come from the world of words. I am an ICF certified life coach, widely known as the Smile Strategist, and I am super excited to host today a friend, a coach, a mother, a wife, someone who I have who act with whom I actually reconnected with my journey of self development. Her name is Mawada, and she is the founder of Me, Myself, and I Life Coaching. And without further ado, I bring to you Mawada.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. So, today, Mother, we are talking about cutting the umbilical cord. And not many of us would know what it is or what exactly we are talking about, because people might just jump into this conversation out of curiosity. Some might say, "Oh, what do you mean by detaching ourselves from our parents?" And there could be so much going on in the background for everyone. And before all of that, I would like to take your permission to play a tiny little video so that those who are new to the platform are able to understand why Wise Wednesdays, if I have your permission.
Go ahead, sweetie.
All right, let's do this. So, this is where it is. Wise Wednesdays started on April 1st with a humble episode on forgiveness. Between then and now, we've had heart led conversations on happiness, stress management, relationships, resilience, public speaking, respecting boundaries, self discovery, mindset, just being, listening, reclaiming your life, intuition, and even food. I would like to thank all my listeners and the guests who gave me their time and trust. It is because of you that we kept going. It is because of you that we kept growing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much to each and every one of you who are joining us today on the live and who will catch us up on the replay. I have with me today Mawada, a good friend, someone I really have enjoyed working with and learning with. And it's beautiful that when I asked her, what would you like to speak on? She said, cutting the umbilical cord and detaching ourselves from our parents. Tell us, Mawada, what does that even mean to you?
Well, since I was a child, they labeled me, I'm a lazy person. Okay. And I wasn't good academically. And I always thought, they used to tell me, you're not going to achieve anything, and you're not good. You don't have good grades. And I think I was not diagnosed, but I think I have a learning disability. So, then when I grew up, I finished university. It took me a while to finish university, which is okay. And that was fine for me. I worked as a teacher for a while, and that was okay, but I didn't enjoy that. And then I got an opportunity to work in the American consulate and in Jeddah, and as in the commercial service. And I started finding out who I am. I'm a
Hmm.
people person. I love people. My mom used to always tell me, "What that you are so smart. Maybe academically it's not the best, but you're a social person. You're artistic. You're creative." She always built that in me, and which is true. And then later on in my life, I moved to Dubai, and I was introduced to being to coaching, and I started realizing when I was like 36, 37. I started realizing these beliefs that I were created into me were not
Hmm.
real. And then I chose to cut them off. Then I became a mother, and I see how that could happen with my kids. I have three boys, and I labeling a child or putting that idea in their heads that they're going to be like that, or they're not going to be smart enough, or they're going to be not good enough. It will they will take it with them.
Hmm.
Not only that, even the beliefs that you could do something, the energy to give you the energy, you could do this, you could at least try. Just cutting that and creating your own identity with your own self. Yes, you belong to this family, which is great. I'm very proud of my family, and I appreciate everything that they've given me. Okay. But yet I created my own identity, my own self. I wear what I want to wear. I eat what I want to eat. I travel the places that I want to travel. I study what I want to study. I became a coach because I am a coach. I don't have to be a doctor, or I don't have to be an architect to be a successful person. And now it's getting better. The this generation, it's different for them, much different. But there's still, I coach people and I see how they are still connected to that chord. It's never, it's virtual, it's subconsciously, it's still there. And it's difficult to detach yourself from it. Okay. It's changing habits, changing beliefs, realizations, going back to your childhood and accepting certain things and accepting your parents the way they are. Because this is, they tried their best. They love you the way they love you as much as they know how. And when you think about it, me as a parent now, it wasn't easy, and the realizations that they had, the education, the understanding of raising kids, the psychological thought thinking of how to raise a child then is not the same like it is now. So they didn't know better. So this is my experience, and I'm evolving. Every day is a new day. Me as a woman, me as a coach, me as a mother, as a friend, as all my roles in my life. Every single one, I'm evolving every single day with awareness. So basically, this is what it is.
Super. And you know why I was smiling? Because when you told me I'm not a doctor, I'm a coach because I'm a coach. So, those who are regulars on the platform are aware that my mom wanted me to be a doctor.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more like this whole struggle of I didn't think beyond what she wanted of me. There was nothing that I even considered or perceived as okay, this could be a possibility for me. I just went with the flow, and obviously the flow led me to an early marriage and my children, alhamdulillah. And then when the opportunity came to be the writer that I became, to be the get into self development, public speaking, and now being a coach, it was a journey of evolution. And I think, as you said, it's difficult to let go of those cords, because when you're looking at what happened for me, uh, 2 years ago, that is just before we got into the pandemic phase of life, I was in Kuwait, and I did a workshop for doctors. I was at a hospital and I did a workshop. And so for me, at the end of the workshop, when I had all the listeners, all the audience standing behind me in white coats and me taking a picture as their coach, it gives me goosebumps. But that was such a proud moment for me, where I sent that picture to my mom saying, hey, look, I'm coaching the doctors. So
Yeah, the doctors that you wanted me to be.
exactly. But I'm just now as you shared that, I'm just wondering, I still haven't let go, right? That
Yeah.
cord is still there, because that realization is still there that she wanted me, and so I didn't, but I did something else. So am I still attached to that cord, or have I let it go? I wonder.
We'll always be attached to the cord, but knowing that you are your own individual,
Hmm.
and God created you in this world for you with your own path and your own purpose.
Hmm.
So knowing that, that's very important to understand your purpose. Knowing that my purpose in life is being a coach. I love what I do. Okay? If somebody's an artist, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being an artist. This is your message. This is your purpose in your life. If you're meant to be a doctor, that's amazing. Are you enjoying being a doctor? Are you enjoying to be an artist? Are you enjoying to be a coach? This is
Hmm.
what's important. Maybe my father or my mother would have wanted me to be a doctor, but I'm not happy with what I'm doing. There's a lot of people who studied architecture, they became doctors, and then they changed their path, they changed their career. And when you think about it, yes, this is maybe better pay or better, but things are evolving. Now you
Hmm.
see people on social media, they're becoming millionaires and they don't have the full education of a university degree, even, you know? And things are changing. It's not like before, or no, oh, you have to be a scientist or you have to be a doctor. It's not like that anymore. So people noticing or realizing who they are, what their talents are, what their where their energy is, where do they find excitement. When you, if I coach 3 people a day, okay, which is an amazing thing, and it's like end of the day, let's say it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I feel so energetic and so excited because this is my purpose. If an artist maybe stays 12 hours or 3 hours painting something, he's excited or she's excited, okay, or an actress or a tailor. I'm talking about these because these are the thoughts that we have, you know. Oh, she's a tailor or she's a designer. Don't study interior decoration. It doesn't bring in money. Why these thoughts?
Yep.
Embedding these thoughts. These people, this child, if I know his traits and I know his successes and I know where he's good at, what he's good at from the beginning, I could guide that child towards that thing. And maybe he will change. I need to respect that. I need to respect that as a parent. I need to let that child go and do what they need to do because they're learning. When you're 18, 19, do you know what you want to be? You don't know
No,
what you want to be.
no,
You
not
study
really.
because of, I studied English literature just for the sake of a university degree, that I'm entered university and I have a degree. Well,
Yeah,
did I love it? It's something that I knew. That's it. It wasn't my passion. If I have to go back, I would study something completely different.
true.
You know?
I studied genetics, microbiology, and okay. So Vidya says my volume is a little low, so give me a heads up. I'm trying to fidget with the wire. Hopefully it works, or else we do the same thing that I did last week. I will take off the headphones and just go, without it. So
Okay.
so tell me. Um, Yes, I was saying I've studied genetics with microbiology, but now if you ask me the core, the four parts of the genetic material, the DNA, which should be the ABCs of genetics, I don't know. I've forgotten. I mean, like it was something that I probably took on as a learning because I was asked to, or it came my way. But was I interested in it? No, I don't think so. It probably served a purpose because getting into journalism, I did a lot of health articles. So I did have the opportunity to interview a lot of doctors and write for the local newspapers. But and that was helpful because coming from a science background, I was able to understand when the doctors are talking about antibiotics and antibodies, and I knew those were two different things. And they didn't have to really explain stuff to me. So yeah, education never goes for waste. But I love what you said about letting a child, understanding a child's interest, and then kind of letting them flow and shaping them place. That definitely makes a difference.
And something
Samar,
that's, but
yes.
I just want to mention something. Sometimes when I coach, I sometimes coach teenagers and I coach adults, like in their 30s and 40s. And I notice the teenager, he's starting or she's starting to to experience life. She's going to enter university or he's going to enter university and they're going to start learning new things in their lives. The parents start putting, even then when you're 18 or 19, no, you should be scared of this. They put fear in them because they want to protect them out of love. Okay.
Hmm.
But that fear, since teenage years and before teenage years, it grows and it's taken more to the when they're 38 and they're 40, 45, and it's very difficult to break it later
Hmm.
on in your life. So I see clients, they tell me I want to be successful. And I ask, what's the reason that you want to be successful? And they tell me, because I want to prove something to my mother, or I want to prove something to my father, or even sometimes my distant family, like uncles or cousin or whatever, you know. And I ask, what about you,
Hmm.
Ruqayya? Believe me, sometimes they go,
Hmm.
I don't know. Okay, and that's very surprising, and it's very hurtful, and we work on this journey of creating what they want to create in their lives, and that's so important. But it's sometimes it's a big struggle. This is why I chose this subject. Really detaching yourself. Stop thinking about what your father told you when you were a child. Stop thinking about what your mother expected of you.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean being disrespectful to your parents. You love your parents because they do that because out of love. They don't do it out of hatred unless there's something wrong psychologically. But they do it out of love. And you need to differentiate yourself from that, my mother and my father, because now I'm experiencing something else. It's a different generation, it's a different life, it's a different experience now. What they had, they didn't have internet, they didn't have all of this before. Okay, maybe they use phones now and stuff like that, but they don't have the experience that we have. They didn't have the knowledge and the research that we have. Our kids will not will have a, something completely different experience,
True.
you know. So now, and one of the experiences that I'm facing now with my kids is the internet and the social media, and I'm trying to protect them of it. And I realize and know this is not, I can't protect them completely. I need to give them awareness of what they're seeing, awareness of maybe one of them is going to be a TikToker or a YouTuber. I don't know what it's going to be, you know. So I need to support that
Yeah.
and not put in fear in them. I noticed that, oh no, this is bad. This, no, I have to give them a choice to choose what they want,
Hmm.
you
And
know.
speaking of choice and to give them what they want, I remember the conversation with my son, grade 8, and he was into gaming and he was very addicted. I wouldn't call it addicted, but he used to spend long hours in front of the TV gaming and all of that. And one fine day he tells me, "Ma, I want to study games development." And I said, "You do know that when you're studying the subject, you're not playing. It's different from studying and playing." And he said, "Yeah, I'm very well aware of that." So I said, "Great." It was more like assessing for myself whether he knew the decision he was making, because you can always, I mean, as a parent, the obvious thing, I mean, maybe I'm generalizing, but when a child tells you they want to study games development, the idea is you think that maybe they want to just play games. They're enjoying it so much that they want to only play games. So for me, I just wanted to understand whether he understood what his decision meant. And once I had clarity on that, for me, it was okay. So now, Alhamdulillah, he's doing a double major, games development and business management together. And hopefully, inshallah, by next year, he should be done with his
Excellent.
degree. So,
Yeah. And that's amazing. That's awareness. That's awareness of letting them choose for themselves. Or another thing, they marry somebody because their parents want them to marry this person. Not
mhm,
no, it could be arranged. I'm not against arranged marriages, but forcing that person. And sometimes it's not women only, it's men as well. Okay, so choosing for them, and that person trying to that child or that man or woman trying to uh, uh, get the acceptance from his parents just because to control his life, his wife, his kids when he's going to have kids, and the pressure that the girl feels when she didn't get pregnant the first year, and all of that. And
mhm,
a person needs to be firm and say no.
mhm,
There's nothing, I don't hate you or I don't disrespect you, but you made your own choices. You made your own mistakes, and you made the correct choices if you think that this everything is right. But let me choose for myself. You
mhm,
could guide me, but you cannot force something on me, you know. So, and then you see lots of people, they get married, they, because of the culture, it's expected from you. Having kids, the pressure of, maybe I didn't have kids at the beginning, the first 2 3 years, the pressure of having the kids, and you see the psychological side of the lady or the man. Okay, and they start becoming depressed, more fighting, more disrespect, and this affects the person, the whole family. You want that person to be happy based on you, what you think is right, but that person is not happy. Or maybe she or he were in love with somebody else and they force them to marry somebody based because this is the right person, this is the right family.
mhm,
And then they feel guilty, guilt, fear, all of that. Guilt and fear are the two feelings that are like paralyzing to a person.
true.
Okay,
Mhm,
and you could feel guilty till even when they die. You feel guilty. And why? Why am I feeling guilty about something that it's my, and there's a path. There's like nasib, like, it's written. It's my fate that I'm gonna marry this person, or I'm gonna have these kids. Oh, myself, before, when I got married when I was 38, so everybody was saying, oh, 36. They say, oh, you didn't get married. This is fate. It's not a choice. I want to get married. I wanted to get married when I was 18. It's fate, it's fate. And things happen sometimes for a reason. You said you're what you studied. I'm sure what you studied was there for a reason, and it helped you in your journalism and what you're doing as a coach now, and
What I'm doing
exactly
right now.
what you're doing right now. It was meant to be as well. And letting go, letting that person choose for themselves, even when you're 20, even when you're 25, even when you're 30 or 40, that's okay.
So we've got two questions that have come in, and I'm going to, because we're talking of marriage, I'm going to share that one first.
Hmm.
So we have Vidya says, with relevance to marriage, what if the wife's beliefs are totally different from that of her husband and his family, but is forced to follow what they believe and follow?
Okay. I know sometimes it's difficult. Okay, I know, because sometimes the spouse's family is really strict, or not strict. They have their own opinions in certain things, the way you want to raise your kids and whatever. Sometimes, if with knowledge, you could create change. Okay, when you come in and you, not forcefully, not with anger, with love. Love is magical, and respect. Okay, if you want to create change in a relationship, you need to start with yourself. It never starts with the family or him or her or the spouses, whatever. You start. What do you want in your, if you want more love, you create the love. You want more respect, you create respect. Okay? And another thing, don't feel you're a victim. You have a choice. We are born free. You could say your opinion very respectfully. You could ask for what you want very respectfully. Once, twice, 3 times, or 4 or 5, whatever you need to do. And believe me, change can happen.
So when you're talking about creating love and respect, give us an example. How would you create that love and respect?
Okay, because let's say we have an image of a daughter and a father. The father is very strict, and you have to go, you have to listen to everything he says and all of that. Okay, you are scared, and he's the dominating person. And there is a child in every human being. Every human being, there's a child, and every human being wants to be loved. Okay, from what you want to bring, you bring in. Let's say you're going to deal with this person, either your parents, your mother, or your father. Come in with a big hug. Come on, the first time, the person is going to be, maybe they're not going to hug you back, or maybe they're going to feel awkward. And you're going to feel awkward because you're not used to it. You come in, you go in, or you get a small rose or a small gift. Okay, once, twice, 3 times. That person who you're dealing with, it could be a parent or a spouse or whatever, or even a friend. That person will be expecting that, and they will start reacting to that in the same way you are doing it. It takes time and patience, but it's doable. I have clients, they tell me, no, I cannot talk to my parent or whatever. So I tell them, what do you want in this relationship? I want love. Start with, first of all, you have to start with loving yourself. If you love yourself, you could give love. If you don't love yourself, you need to learn how to love yourself. So if you love yourself, you start loving yourself, and then you have so much abundance of love, you're able to give it to the person in front of you. And truly, okay, believe me, it creates change. Even if you're young, you might be 18 years old or 15, you might be more aware than your parents. Don't underestimate a teenager, and don't underestimate a young lady or a young man. They could create the change because the parents are not aware.
do agree. I do agree because,
Yeah.
I mean, I think now with the way, with again, I'm just going to take it back to social media. So much of awareness has been created, whether we're looking at the amount of content you have online, the kind of, yeah, let's just talk about the content that's available on online, the kind of coaches that are already available on the scene. So much is going on. Then kids are more in tune with that, and yeah, definitely the awareness is there, and hopefully, um, yeah, they could be conversation changers, people who are bringing new topics to the table. And I think it's important from that perspective for the parents to then listen.
Yes. It's
It's
so
so
important for
important.
the parent to listen. And I think once you remove the fear of protecting your child from
Hmm.
life, because life is not easy, they're going to face good people, bad relationships, bad bosses, whatever, in the bad professors in the university.
Hmm.
A parent needs to let go of the child because that's the child's experience. That's the child. That child is going to be an adult. That child is going to be a parent. They're going to have to learn from these mistakes or these difficult situations for them to be able to survive in life. And life is not always easy. So giving them the trust, giving them the ability that I trust that you could solve this. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And I'm willing to give you advice if you need it. And they will come to you. Having that trust between the mother or the father or the parents with the child, that child eventually is going to come back to you,
True.
you know? So that's
Um,
very important.
True. And which beautifully takes me to the other question which Vidya had asked. She said, "What should parents do when the child or teenager is unsure of what they want to do, even if they are talented or skilled?"
I advise parents truly to do assessments, okay, career assessments, personality assessment, to see where the child, even though that they're still developing, but you could know what your child. But I have three boys. One of them is an extrovert, 100%. The two younger ones are more of introverts. They're a little bit middle. One of them is very brain, always in his head. He's good in science. He's good in math. The other one is he could be a diplomat. I see that. I don't want to put that in his head, but he's a people person. He loves to talk. He's always there and he has presence. The other one is very scientific. Why does this happen? Why is this like this? He's amazing in math. The other one, the youngest one, I still don't know where to put him, but he is very creative. He looks at things in a completely different way than his brothers or me or his father, you
Hmm.
know? And that is truly, truly amazing. But I do assessments for them. Eventually, when they want to decide on a university or whatever, I will do a career assessment and see where they want to be. You know,
Hmm.
مثلا right now, my middle child tells me, "Mommy, I want to be an actor." I'm going to support that. This summer, I'm going to put him in acting classes because this is what he wants to explore now. And that's okay. It's okay when they're 18, 19, and they still don't know. It's okay. And lots of them, the first 2 years, then they change majors,
Hmm.
you know?
I, I've known so many people who've kind of studied a subject in university, but they aren't following that, because I think sometimes it's because life has taken them somewhere else, or sometimes because they finally completed the degree that their parents wanted them to, and then now they have the wings to do what they would prefer to. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to observe that in real life too.
And Rukia, sometimes they know what they want, but they're scared to pursue that because of their parents.
Hmm.
This is when you need to start cutting your umbilical cord.
Hmm.
This is when you start to say, okay, where am I as an individual in this universe?
Hmm.
What is my purpose? Am I happy?
Hmm.
This is so important. Am I happy? If I'm not happy and my parents are happy, I'm just starting my life.
Hmm.
If I'm going to be 50 and 60 and I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve because of my parents, then what?
And you know what? Interestingly, if you sat down and had an honest conversation with your parents, you would realize that all they truly want for you is to be happy.
100%.
It, and if
That
they found out at a much ripe age from you that you weren't happy all your life of as a student because of them, that would cause them more sadness than
sadness
you
or trauma, yeah,
acquiring a degree, right?
definitely, definitely. And having that open, some parents you could have that conversation with, but some parents you cannot have that conversation. Some
Hmm.
some some children lie to their parents
Hmm.
when they're 30 and 40, and you establish a relationship with lies. There's no trust,
Hmm.
and eventually it's then there's like an explosion. Either the father or the mother, they found out that he's doing something completely different, he married somebody else, or whatever, and you go, okay, you created that. You as a parent created that mistrust,
Hmm.
you know. So really, really thinking of no wanting that child to be happy. Yes, you do give advice. Like if your child tells you, Masana, I don't know what they want to do, something really, really unexpected, acceptable, then you could give advice and whatever. Or you have a child who's lost, and that's difficult. That's a different situation. This person needs help. They need to go to get more guidance. I don't know, different cases. I'm talking about normal. Sometimes it's a normal person who is unhappy, and they find out that they're not happy because of the beliefs that they have from their parents. I'm pleasing my parents. I'm living my parents' life. Then this is when a person needs to cut these cords.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, Mother, what were some chords that you had to cut through?
Um,
Sorry.
no, no, it's okay. I lived in different places all my life, and I told you I was not good academically. That good. I was okay. I wasn't a smart student. I needed to cut the belief that I'm not smart.
Hmm.
Okay. And I realized when I started working in the American consulate, my friend told me about this job, and she told me there's a job opportunity. I said, okay, let me try. And I went, and they chose me. Why did they choose me? Because of my experience, because my mom had her own business, and I used to sell her stuff and stuff like that, because I was working in the commercial service. And because of my personality, I'm a people person. Not because of my degree, yeah? Not because of my degree. Okay. Then when the second job that I had was in the National Commercial Bank in Saudi, I did the IPQ test, and it came out the numbers are really bad. But also, again, I'm a people person. So the position was in HR, in recruiting graduates, master's degree graduate students from the US and England, to bring them into the bank. So I was taken because of my personality, not because of my academics, or my experience in the American consulate. Of course, brought it in, but
Yep.
also my personality. When I came here to Dubai, I started working for a company here, and that's one of the things. It's my personality. I was working in learning and development. So all of this created the path for my life to become a life coach. Even though when I was working something called Talent Club in the Talent Club in Saudi with young girls, and I was coaching the girls. I was 19 and 20. I was coaching the girls, and I didn't even know what coaching is.
Hmm.
So the essence of a person is there. Just grab it and develop that.
Hmm.
And nobody is stupid. Nobody is doesn't have a niche or a success or something that in their personality that could guide them towards where they should be in the future. I'm a successful person. I'm a happy person now. I got married. I didn't get married when I was 18, but I got married at the right time for me, and I'm blessed. Once my mom, she knows this. Once she used to introduce me, and by the way, my mom is European, so she used to introduce me. Yes, this is my daughter. Mother, she still didn't get married. Truly, I love my mom. She is my mentor. She's my shining light. Seriously, but this is the mentality, you know. So you need to, and I always thought I wanted to get married, want to have kids, and it's a thought in your head. But it was the right time for me to get married when I was 36. If I knew that getting married at that time, it's okay and it's fine,
Mm.
you know?
No, I do agree. And I get where you're coming from because I got married what before. The joke I like to play is, if you want drama, I can say I got married when I was a teenager. But the fact of the matter is, I was 10 days away from my 20th birthday. So
Yeah,
yes, technically, a teenager. But but the thing is, that was the mindset of my family at the time.
exactly.
But now with my daughter, I don't see the urgency, or that she's got her own way of looking at life, and I respect that. And she respects the fact that, okay, everything in its time, and there's a time for everything. So yeah, just going with the flow and realizing that everyone has their own way of looking at success. For you, I love how you keep saying, I am happy, I am successful. you're measuring
100%. Yeah,
you're measuring happiness with success, and that's pretty much how I measure it too. But if you were looking at it from maybe somebody else's perspective, happiness to them might mean something altogether different, why
100%.
which could be an alien language to the two of us.
But
So
this comes to the values that you have, or the things that were built into you from the beginning. There's nothing wrong with whatever somebody sees success as.
yep.
For me, to be happy, to wake up, I'm comfortable, happy, I'm healthy, and the kids are healthy. I'm not saying every day is a happy day. No, it's not like that. Sometimes I have bad days. I feel tired. I'm angry. I'm upset. Normal. But mostly, if I say 100% of my life, my year, I could say 95% of it is great, you know?
Yep.
And I appreciate every moment, and I think of the good things that I have, you know?
Yep.
Every day I'm appreciative of everything, even the things that they used to tell me,
Hmm.
okay? Because I overcame those. I was able to change that. And I'm trying to help people in my coaching to create that change in their lives,
True. True.
you know? And that's a blessing. That's truly, truly a blessing. Living your purpose and knowing your purpose is a blessing. Once I was coaching somebody in the corporate world, and I asked him about purpose. He doesn't know what his purpose is.
Hmm.
And we worked on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think growing up, because very often you're constantly told what to do, you're constantly told who to be, you come to a point where you don't really know who you are.
Exactly.
It's sad, but it is how it is. So, mother, me, myself, and I. For some people, they might, oh my God, that's so self-centered.
Hmm.
But I know that there's a
Yeah,
beautiful
there's a catch
lesson.
to it. Yeah, everybody told me that it's too long, or and truly, truly, it's like if you don't take care of yourself and you don't love yourself and you don't build yourself, okay, you burn yourself out and you're not going to be there for anybody around you. Being a woman, being a father, being a mother, being an employee, being a student, or whatever. You need to take care of yourself. You need to develop yourself. You need to make yourself happy so you'll be able to make others happy. Okay? Now I'm talking as a mother. If I'm not happy, what's going to happen? I'm going to be angry at my kids. I'm going to be not happy with my husband, and I won't be able to do anything.
Hmm.
If I do take care of myself, I go out with my friends. I take the time to read my book that I want to read. I go uh, uh, take the course that I want to take. Okay, I might need to take a travel somewhere. If I don't do these things, where am I in when I'm 60 and 70? Waiting
Hmm.
for my kids to come in and ask about me? See, I see a lot of mothers and I see a lot of fathers. They're busy, they're worried about money, income. I'm not saying that's not important. The mother's worried about her feeding her kids, uh, getting her kids getting A grades, and teaching them the best, and the activities and all of that. And she's running around, and you see her, she's burning inside. She's inside, she's getting older. She's gaining weight. She's not focusing on herself because, oh, I have to do this for my kids. Oh, I have to do this for my husband. Oh, I have to do this for my mother. Or I have to do this for my father or my friends.
Mhm.
Where are you in this? So the things that we need to do, I don't have time. You need to make time.
Absolutely.
Man and woman. I'm not talking about just women. You need to make time for yourself. If you need to lose weight, you need to do the exercise. You need to change the way you eat. You need to, you, no, but I have to cook for the kids. Do something for yourself. Let your kids share what you're eating. Tell them I need to go. I'm going to go for 1 hour for my exercise.
Mm.
Nothing's going to get nothing's going to get messy after if you go out for 1 hour or 2 hours. Nothing. The world would not be destroyed.
True. True.
But some people think that if I'm not there for them, they won't be able to survive, which is not true. It's a belief that's not true.
True. It's
The-
definitely not true. And I
There's
think
a
when you
there's
when
sorry, Ruqayya, there's a nice documentary. It's called Babies. Okay, it talks about different four babies, I think, from different countries, developed countries and undeveloped countries, and then they show you the babies after 1 year, and everybody survives. It's a beautiful documentary that I love, and I recommend it to for new mothers, especially because then you realize, everybody survives.
Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
So I've actually put it down if anybody wants to watch it. Babies, the documentary. What I was going to ask you there was, and it's lost. But
Sorry, Ruqayya. Sorry,
no,
but
no,
I
no,
have to
no,
mention that.
no, 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 no. But it's okay. What were we talking about? We were talking about our kids. We were talking
Yes,
about thinking that everything revolves around us and that we have to be there for everyone all the time. The interesting thing is when you are not seeing it as that, when you actually give the other person room to breathe, that's when they realize they can stand on their own as well.
yeah,
And I always enjoy being the devil's advocate, so I'm just going to ask you this very interesting question, and also for the audience to listen and understand. Do we hold on to these responsibilities because it gives us a sense of self-worth?
100%. That's part of it.
Hmm.
And labeling. We are mothers, so a mother should be doing this.
Hmm.
A mother being a good mother, like you see your mother or your mother-in-law, they see, oh, you're working. When I was working, I had my kids, I was working full time. Okay. And they were looking, okay, you're not going to leave your job. I said, no.
Hmm.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I had a nanny that supported me for 12 years. Bless her. I love her. She's a sister, Sushi. Everybody knows her, but she was a big help. And I was lucky to have that. And I couldn't let go of my job because this is something about me.
Hmm.
And if you see my boys, they're amazing boys. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I'm blessed. I gave them all my love. I gave them all the support that they always needed. I breastfed them all. I did I did the best that I can, and they're amazing. It doesn't mean that if I have a child, I have to leave my job. I have to leave my career, or I have to leave something that I love. And there's nothing wrong with being a full-time mother. There's nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy that and this is what you want to make that choice, that's okay. But I didn't want to make that choice. I wanted to have a career,
And it's interesting because what I say is, at the time when most women hang their boots was when I decided to wear my shoes, because I started writing when the kids were really small. And I started writing when my son at the time was 8 months old and my daughter had just started school. So for me, there was this realization that I have two people who are going to watch what I'm doing in life. They're, because I think somewhere parents are that subconscious role model that a child has. Either they want to be like their parents or they want to be not like their parents. In any means, not both extremes, but could be in different areas. There could be some areas about your parents that you really love and you really want to take that on, and there could be some areas that you might not really kind of connect with, and then you feel like, no, no, I would like to do this differently. But in any case, they're being a model, right? You're
Yes.
unconsciously picking up from what they're doing.
Yeah. My mom started her own business when she was 45 in Saudi.
Hmm.
So she is definitely my role model. And my mom had 5 kids, and I don't see anything wrong with having a career and opening your own business or finishing. I was working in learning and development, and then I became a coach and all of this. And there's nothing wrong with that. I am satisfied in my career. I'm satisfied with my knowledge and my learning. I always, every year, I take time, like 1 day or 2 days, to learn something new. And now with the online stuff, there's a lot of things that I could do online. And I love it. My boys are very independent. They love me. They love me a lot. They're proud of me and I'm proud of them. And there's nothing wrong with that because I'm happy.
Hmm.
I'm not always angry at them. I don't take them for granted. They don't take me for granted. It's a healthy relationship, So
That's important.
yeah.
Uh, Mother, okay, now you are able to invest in yourself. You are able to run your business. There's this some level of financials that you're probably able to take care of yourself. Now, what advice would you have for someone who might be financially dependent? Um, you know,
Start
and
small. That's a good question, Rokhaya.
thank you.
Start small. My mom, when she was 45, she started with a hair clip. She found a rose on the floor, like a cloth rose, and she made a hair clip for my sister. Somebody in the school asked my sister, "Where did you get this?" She said, "My mom made it." After 25 years, my mom opened a business. She opened stores. She had kiosks in prominent landmark, small in Saudi, and she had a business. She developed, she evolved, and she did a lot. She's, mashallah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, she's 80 years old, and she's still on a roll. She closed her business, but it's like for 25 years, she supported herself fully. She was able to buy property on her own. It started with a hair clip.
Mm,
If you want to do something, don't start big. You don't have to be huge. You could
yep.
start small, and that will bring in more and more and more. And truly, truly, and it is doable. Don't listen to people. That's the first thing. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, this is, how could you do this? You come from a prominent family. This is not going to be successful. You've invested too much in this. Don't listen to people. Go with your gut feeling. What do you
Mm,
feel? What is your situation? People will get used to it. People eventually will start talking about you.
yep.
Oh, look at her. She's so successful. Oh, look at her. Believe me, start small and grow. Don't listen to negative people. Don't listen to negative people at all, because they're not gonna
Mm.
guide. They're scared for you. Okay, they're scared that you're gonna fail. Maybe
Or maybe they're reflecting their failures or their fear of
failures or
failure.
fears, or there could be other reasons. You
Hmm.
know,
And okay, uh, you said people are going to talk about you, but there will be those people who will watch you grow and not applaud, because we'll get those as well, right?
that's
And
okay.
very often we do get those people from among our own, and that sometimes can hurt. So, what could you tell us for those kind of situations?
People used to say that, oh, you want to be Mother Teresa.
Hmm.
Okay? I want to be Mother Teresa. Why not? This is what I want to be. I want to make the world more happy. I want to make better in a different way, of course. I want to make people light that bulb in their heads. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what I want to be. I love it. Okay. Now people respect that. They know this is Muadda, she's a life coach. Okay. And I love what I do. I don't listen. My mom never listened to anybody. I didn't listen to anybody, you know. Well, alhamdulillah, one thing, Ruqayya, it's so important. I truly have the support of my husband. He is truly, truly amazing. Seriously, he supports me. He took us, and he took the kids out from the house, took them for
Good.
to dinner,
Yeah.
because and I truly appreciate that. My mom, she's so proud of me. My everybody, my friends, I have an amazing network of friends, and I love them all, and that's important. So surrounding yourself with good friends, good people around you is so important. The people who don't understand you when you start your business, it's okay. Eventually they will. Okay. The people who don't wish the good for you, they will drop off anyways. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody comes to your life for a reason, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know? So this is something that looking at yourself as an individual, it's so important. And knowing and finding out what your purpose is in life is very rewarding.
Yep. Absolutely.
Knowing that, and knowing that your parents are coming from a good place, they don't hate you. Definitely they don't, because literally they take their money and give it to you. This is what you
Yeah.
do. They love you. So trust that, and trust, and you could have that conversation if eventually, after building that love and injecting love into the relationship, you could have that face-to-face conversation with that person, whoever it is, your spouse, your parents, or whatever, and you could say, this is what I want, and this is what makes me happy. And if you agree with this, and having your support would make a difference for me, uh, that could give a powerful results in whatever you want to do. So this is something that you could do.
Brilliant. So, people, if this conversation is resonating with you, give us a yes. Tell us what you're thinking of. Who's that person coming to your mind as we share about this? Is there something that's coming to your mind that you would like to bring to the table? We are almost towards the end of the hour, and I think the one question I would like to ask Mawada for myself, and of course, still open. Okay, then we have one question coming in from Gaurav says yes. Thank you, Gaurav. And earlier, Gaurav was also talking about communication. Thank you. Lina says yes. Yes. Thank you so much. I like that. Yes, Lina. And Vidya has a question for us. And Vidya is among Vidya, Gaurav. These are people who have walked with me. So Mother, as you know, as I shared earlier, she said we spoke about how these conversations, quite literally, are conversations where I invite people from my circle of genius. I like to call it my circle of genius because you're all my friends, you're all my peers, people I have worked with, people I have learned with, people I've met at conferences, you know, events, etc., on social media. So I do agree that it's very important to surround yourself with people who make a difference and understand you. And rightfully said, if people those who don't understand your journey eventually get left behind, or you move on in front, however you want to look at it. So thank you for that wisdom. And I have another question from Vidya. She says, starting small, yes, but what if there is no support from family? Many married women want to be independent but have a lot of challenges, especially because the family does not support them, instead discourages them.
Fight.
Hmm.
Fight and believe in yourself. I know it is difficult. I know. Believe me, I understand that people face a lot of things and they face a lot of challenges. But if you believe in something, fight. We have lots of leaders who fought, and they got what they got results from fighting, or not fight, challenging themselves. Not fight. I'm not talking about fighting like this, and just looking at your challenges and overcoming them, having that conversation with family. If it doesn't work, start small, or do it on the side, or um, I'm sure lots of women face any. I know somebody who her husband doesn't allow her just to. She only drives the kids to school. She doesn't. She's not allowed to go anywhere. Eventually, she started working for something, and uh, she became successful in her job.
Hmm.
When you want something, God creates the road for you.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Start with a spark. Eventually, it will grow.
Hmm.
Okay. Yes, some people the challenge is more than others. I understand, but start. Just start.
Start, just start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and start, just start. But what
Mm.
if that little voice in your head is too loud?
Oh, that's the saboteur.
Yes.
Then that you could create the saboteur. That's because I'm doing now positive intelligence, and it talks about exactly about the saboteur. And there's an
Yes. Coach
assessment.
Shiraz.
Yes,
Yes.
Coach Shiraz. It's amazing.
Yes.
But when I coach people, I look at the saboteur and I create a persona for that saboteur. So it could be one saboteur, two saboteurs, or three, whatever, for different situations. It could be a jumping frog telling you, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. Or it could be an old man, you're not going to be successful. But there's inside of you the hero, the woman who is successful, the Superman that's out there. You could create your heroes, and you've used your heroes before. But we tend to, as humans, to listen to the negative more. But you could change that habit. You could start listening to your heroes. When you pushed yourself in your exam, when you pushed yourself in this project and your job, when you pushed yourself as a coach, challenges, where did I get the money for this? Where can I get? And subhanallah, when I wanted to do the NLP, the first one, the second one was supposed to be after 2 weeks. I didn't have the money for that.
Hmm.
SubhanAllah, it was postponed for like 6 months, 7 months later, where I was able to pay for it. And it was with the people that I took most of the people that were with me from the practitioner.
Yeah.
Things align for what you want.
True. True. I do agree.
Just have
Shafiqa.
the intention. The intention is so important, and give it to God. Definitely. And it works that way. Don't be negative about it.
Hmm.
And
So
if
it's
it's
like,
not meant to be now, it's going to be, if it's right for you, it's going to happen later.
so it's more about let go and let God.
100%. This is my motto in life as well. This is something that I realize. When you're younger, you don't realize these things. But when you get older, خلاص, let God deal with it. And seriously, it's the best thing. He knows you better than anybody.
True.
So,
And haven't we been promised that we're not going to be given more than we can handle?
of course.
We have been promised that.
And
So
by the way, we are so powerful. We're not victims. Truly, we are not victims. Once you start talking to yourself with the hero language, okay, things start to evolve. When you talk to yourself with your saboteur language, you're accepting that. So nothing's going to happen. But once you start talking with the hero language, things align. This is what you create. You create abundance. This is how you create it, with looking at abundance, or looking not money wise only, opportunities, the time that you need to do this, the people that come into your life to be able to achieve certain things. It's not abundance, not just money. It's other things as well.
so true. So as we near the closing of the session, uh, is there something that you would like to share with the listeners as we come to the close of the session? Anything that you would like to share with the listeners as we sign out?
Believe in yourself, and truly, truly start living your purpose, and things will align. Don't think of what your parents said to you when you were a child. Continue the way you are, because you are here with a purpose, and you have a message in this world. Go with that, with respect and love.
Hmm. It's it's interesting because when you sent me the title of our talk, you said cutting the umbilical cord, detaching ourselves from our parents. And that little voice in my head was like, oh my god, I speak so much about my dad, and would it be contradictory to the message that I'm constantly conveying about my dad, my mom, and then detaching ourselves from our parents? So then I said, no, actually, I know where she's coming from. And this would be a very interesting conversation to have, all the more because I speak so much about them. So I was super pumped. It's you. Obviously, we're on this journey of self development together. And as you said, practitioner, master practitioner, both the sessions together. The bond is definitely there. And I love what you do. I love who you are. Thank you for being the person that you are. And thank you for the time that you
Thank you,
spent with
Ruqayya,
us
for
today.
having me. It was beautiful. It was very interesting conversation, and I truly, truly believe in what you're doing. MashaAllah,
Thank you.
amazing, and best of luck.
Thank you. All the best to you too. And guys, if you have stayed up until the end, thank you. Thank you for catching us on the live and the replay, whenever you may catch us. And if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, because here is where I have been posting daily videos since May 1st, 2018, which means today was day 1136 of that commitment, day after day after day. So I think subscribe is definitely worth it. Won't you say so? So good night, and thank you, thank you, Vidya, Lena, Gaurav, and everybody else for joining us. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.